Welcome back to the Citizen channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well. And today we've got a History Boys feature. And we're going to go over to Turf Moor. I was there at this game back in 1976. Yeah, we're going to look at Burnley versus Manchester City, the 13th of March, 1976. Please, if you do enjoy this and if you're new to the channel, please push that subscribe button. Push that bell notification. These vlogs are coming out. I'll do City past, present and forever, of course, on here. Then give us a thumbs up, guys, like Pep's doing there in the corner. Give us a thumbs up. I'll try and get between about 15 and 20 for these Manchester City vlogs. So if you can do that for me, make an old City fan very happy, and I hope you enjoy what we've got for you today. Yes, Burnley versus Manchester City, 13th of March, 1976. An important date, that. Some of your ears will prick up. 28th of February, 1976 was quite an important day. Of course, we were the recently crowned League Cup winners, and we visited Turf Moor with fans in high spirits. I was in high spirits. I'd been at that Wembley game, my second trip to Wembley, and at last a victory. We got beaten the first one in 1974 I went to, but obviously 1976 was much better. And Tony Buck was in charge, of course, delivered a trophy he'd obviously won as a player as well as a manager. And all looked bright, and after an almost, 6-year trophy drought, from 1970. So, that was great, wasn't it? All looked bright for the future. How little did we know, at that stage. We knew then what we know now. What could we have done? Not much, in all fairness. Away from football, I was a junior cost clerk at the Cooperative Wholesale Society in Manchester on Balloon Street. Lots of CWS buildings there, lots of different divisions. I was in the architecture, interior design, the building all the superstores at the time, but I was just a junior cost clerk. Enjoying life, I was enjoying it. I think it was on about £25 a week or something like that. So heady days, of course. The Cod War between the UK and Iceland was in full swing. That was Battle of the Fishes, obviously. Harold Wilson was set to resign as Prime Minister, and his replacement, James Callaghan, was also in for a bit of a torrid time. Princess Margaret, talk about torrid time, she'd recently separated, or would soon separate from Lord Snowdon. But on the bright side, yes, our Eurovision entry, yes, we actually won it. Brotherhood of Man, save your kisses for me. That was only a couple of weeks away. But we actually won it in those days, guys. I know it's hard to believe. Number one in the charts was I Love to Love, but my baby just loves to dance. I love to love, but my baby just loves to dance. He wants to dance. Yes, that was the UK singles number one. Slightly better sung by Tina Charles, of course. And the album charts, I don't remember this being top of the album charts. I do remember the gentleman's name, but I certainly didn't remember him. I was into my music at that age. Slim Whitman. Yes, Slim Whitman was the number one album with the very best of Slim Whitman. Very original title. And if you go into the pictures, get into the old pictures, the old cinema, Rocky was the big box office film of that year. Back to football, QPR led the table. It's not often we can say that, is it? Obviously, QPR led the table from Liverpool. Liverpool was in second, QPR were top. And we sat 7th after 31 games. So it was a 42-game season. So we had 11 games left. Just 35 points from 31 games. Doesn't sound much, does it? Doesn't sound much of a return. We'd lost only one game at Main Road. We'd actually drew 5 or 6, but we'd only lost one all season. But it was our away form, which was not for the first time around this area in the 70s. It cost us dearly. It was amongst the worst in the division. It was like the away form of the teams near the bottom rather than a team near the top. We'd only won 2 of our 14 away games, and we had a 10-point gap to the aforementioned leaders, QPR. And of course, we would have been so much closer if we'd performed even moderately better away from home, and would still be in with a chance for a title. I said that would be a problem that we get to various degrees throughout the 70s. Burnley themselves, they were struggling. They were free from bottom of the division with Wolves a point behind, but they had 2 games in hand on Burnley, so it looked a bit dodgy for Burnley as well, so big game for them. And a certain Mike Summerby would play against us for Burnley as well. He'd actually gone to Burnley, of course. Joe Brown, I don't remember this guy. I remember the singer Joe Brown, but Joe Brown was the Burnley manager. I think he did some coaching for United as well from back in the day. But he was the Burnley manager from January. He took over in January 1976. He'd only last till the February of the next season, so he didn't do so well. Tony Buck had just picked up another Manager of the Month award, but he'd lost his right-hand man. Yeah, Ian McFarlane had left for personal reasons. We were aware of this before the League Cup, but he saw out the League Cup and got us through that League Cup final before he left, or for personal reasons. And that was a big blow to Tony Buck, who had a good relationship with him. Colin Bell was taking tentative steps back from injury, playing for the reserves, possibly about 30-40% of his best at that stage. So we went to Turf Moor. It was a crowd of 24,278. Plenty of City fans who were in that side. I think I remember a bit of trouble that day. Obviously, I think let's just say the Burnley fans took a bit of a kicking that day. Lots and lots of City fans. Obviously, that side. It was like a smaller version of the Kippack, wasn't it? The side at Burnley that we used to stand in. The Burnley team that day: Payton, Scott, Newton, Rodaway, Thompson, Summerbit, Morley, Flynn, Hankin, Fletcher and Collins, and their sub was Morris. And the City team that day, yes, we should win this, shouldn't we? Corrigan, Keegan, Donaghy, Doyle, Watson, Oakes, Barnes, Booth, Royal, Hartford, Chewett. A brilliant team. And the sub was Owen. But, yes, we should win it, but we didn't. City's poor away form will continue despite circumstances throughout the game that were favourable to us winning this and getting the 2 points. So we go over to, very briefly, Peter Gardner's verdict. This is not an entire match report, just his verdict from the Football Pink. Yes, the Football Pink. He goes on to say, what an incredible game, 2 missed penalties and a player sent off highlighted a dramatic Turf Moor clash as City wrestled to overcome the twin problems of an uneven pitch and a desperate Burnley side fighting for First Division survival. It thundered to a crushing climax with Chewett twice missing from the spot, and you thought it was just now. His first misses of the season. It didn't take us long to forget that overhead kick at Wembley, did it? I bet we were a bit flustered that day. Burnley with Mike Summerbee outstanding, no surprise there, against his old colleagues, added to the thrills and entertainment of a superb backs-to-the-wall battle, despite losing Thompson sent off a minute before the break for kicking Chewett. So we missed 2 penalties and they were down for 10 men for half the game. Hartford, Oakes and Booth strode brilliant. No wonder we had a bit of trouble after the game, was it? I remember going back to the train station and there was a bit of a rampage through a couple of shopping centres. Hands up, I didn't get involved in any smashing windows or anything, but that's what happened in those days. We drew 0-0 with Burnley. We just went on a mini rampage. Shocking, really. Hartford, Oakes and Booth strode brilliant to grasp the midfield authority for City, who piled on enormous pressure. Yet Burnley were always a threat on the break, and City had to pull out the stops at times just to keep Burnley at bay. So, yeah, another disappointing lack of victory away from home, with all the circumstances going in our favour as well. It was very depressing. The point actually did move us up a place into the highest we would actually then be at that stage. We were up to 6 after that point against Burnley, but our away form continued to be, well, let's call a spade a spade. It continues to be piss poor, in all fairness. For the rest of the season, we lost 5 and managed just 1 draw in the last 6 away games. Not great at all. And we ended up finishing well, not overly bad, but on the face of it, yeah, with a team like we had, a poor 8th. And Liverpool were champions. Yeah, they beat poor QPR by a point. Not too bad, is it? So that they would go on to finish champions, Liverpool. But yeah, QPR, yeah, lost to a point. I bet they remember that. I mean, we remember when we lost very closely to Liverpool in the late 70s, don't we? But I'm sure the QPR fans remember that. Burnley were left second bottom after that draw and collected themselves. They're a bit pathetic as well. Just 4 points from their last 7 games, and they would finish second from bottom and be relegated at the end of the season. So not great. I say, at least we had a trophy in the cabinet, which was not bad. And obviously Burnley were relegated. They did have a lot of ups and downs after that before they re-established themselves in the Premier League. But I think they went down to the very lowest division, and I think they became the first team ever to win all 4 divisions of British football. I might be wrong in that. I think I might be right in that. So they had that achievement. But yeah, a few problems for Burnley over the next few years. And City, well, we would hopefully go on for better things, but it just didn't quite work out, did it? Anyway, thanks for joining me, guys, for this History Boys feature, featuring Burnley versus Manchester City from the 13th of March, 1976. Thanks for watching. What we're going to do the rest of the day, have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families. More important, let's all look after each other. So we meet here again on the Citizen channel. I only ask one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.